before I ask the general to give you an update, there's a couple of other things that I do want to get out there. First, on Haiti, in support of the U.S. Agency for International Development, their Bureau of Humanitarian Assistance, U.S. Southern Command is working to assess damage, develop common operational pictures, and provide life-saving support for the people of Haiti. They stood up a Joint Taskforce Haiti, which will be led by Rear Admiral Keith Davids, who is the Special Operations Commander South there at Southcom. He's going to be currently operating, or is currently operating from Homestead Air Reserve Base. The JTF is now the forward elements of it, the headquarters elements of the Joint Task Force will be moving to Haiti today. We are also flying 8 helicopters to Haiti later this morning to help with, again, providing a picture overhead. The USS Arlington, a Navy amphibious ship, will be getting underway today as well, and we'll have embarked on it 2 MH-60 helicopters. It also will have on board a surgical team and a landing craft mechanized to be able to move things ashore. The U.S. naval ship Burlington is also going to be used to provide aerial footage and assist with our overall assessment. 2 P-8 Poseidon maritime reconnaissance aircraft, which are currently operating out of El Salvador, will also be sent to the region to provide aerial coverage and assist again in our assessment. And that's where we are right now, is getting a clear picture of what the situation looks like on the ground. The assessment team on the ground will continue to look at the area and to report back to Southcom so that we can best coordinate and integrate USAID and other agency assistance to the people of Haiti. There are also 2 U.S. Coast Guard cutters on station in southern Haiti. There are 7 additional cutters now moving forward. There will also be 1 U.S. Coast Guard fixed-wing aircraft operating out of Guantanamo Bay, again, to help us provide aerial visibility on what things look like on the ground. And we do expect that 4 field hospitals from U.S. Southern Command will be set up in southern Haiti by later this week. So the U.S. military continues to provide unique air, medical, logistical, and engineering capabilities in support of USAID and their Bureau of Humanitarian Assistance. They are leading this effort. We are supporting them to help save lives and alleviate human suffering in these critical early stages of a disaster relief operation. So we'll have more to say in coming hours and days on that, but I wanted to give you an update on Haiti. Another update on COVID response efforts in response to the latest surge, and at the request of FEMA, the Department of Defense is identifying 5 medical assistance teams to support efforts around the nation. These teams will be comprised of about 20 medical personnel, including doctors, nurses, and respiratory therapists. Currently, the department will provide a medical assistance team, one of these medical assistance teams, to a hospital in Lafayette, Louisiana. We expect that there could be additional requests from other states for other teams, and so that's why we're being prepared to stand up 5 teams. But one of them will be dedicated to going to Lafayette, Louisiana, again at the request of FEMA and the state of Louisiana. So we're continuing to lean forward to help our fellow Americans deal with this latest surge in the pandemic. And again, as we have more information and more things to report to you, we certainly will. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to General Taylor. And
for clarification on the teams, they're all military personnel that are on these teams?
These are military medical assistance teams.
Okay,
Yep.
great.
Okay, General, if it's okay if I can leave all my stuff on the podium, I'll turn it over to you.
Good morning. Nice to see you again. Thank you, Mr. Kirby, for the opportunity again to give you an operations update of current operations in Afghanistan. My goal is to provide you with details from my last time in here to ensure that you have as much information as possible. A number of evacuations occurred overnight, which I'll provide you more details here shortly. As we speak, we are continuing air operations, and air operations continued throughout the night. I'm tremendously proud of the Herculean effort we've seen by our U.S. military so far. The rapid insertion of Marines and soldiers and a number of enabling forces moving from both within the CENTCOM AOR and from the United States. Yesterday, The U.S. military footprint in Afghanistan started at about roughly 2,500. And by the end of today, there will be more than approximately 4,000 troops on the ground in Kabul. Forces will continue to flow in and reinforce the State Department and DoD effort there. The operation is ongoing, and I'd like to give you a few more details on that operation. HKIA remains secure. It is currently open for military flight operations as well as limited commercial flight operations. Throughout the night, 9 C-17s arrived, delivering equipment and approximately 1,000 troops. Additionally, 7 C-17s departed. These flights lifted approximately 700 to 800 passengers, and we can confirm 165 of these passengers are American citizens. The rest are a mix of SIV applicants, third country nationals. Responding to the situation at HKIA, our initial focus was to insert forces and equipment. As part of this force flow concludes, the speed of evacuation will pick up. Right now, we're looking at 1 aircraft per hour in and out of HKIA. We predict that our best effort could look like 5,000 to 9,000 passengers departing per day. But we are mindful that a number of factors influence this effort, and circumstances could change. We will keep you updated. There are a number of unexpected challenges that can occur for personnel in a complex and dynamic security environment. We are confident we have taken the right steps to resume safe and orderly operations at the airport. We continue to prioritize the safety of military personnel and those who await evacuation from Afghanistan. With great effort and care, we proceed through each day of this work. You have likely seen the image floating around of Afghan families in a cargo plane. This speaks to the humanity of our troops in this mission, the skill and professionalism of our U.S. military. The last point I'd like to make is about the assessed threat right now. We have had no hostile interactions, no attack, and no threat by the Taliban. We remain vigilant. We also have not experienced any additional security incidents at HKIA. We retain the security of HKIA that enables the safe, orderly evacuation of Americans and Afghans. I want to reinforce that we are focused on the present mission to facilitate the safe evacuation of U.S. citizens, SIVs, and Afghans at risk, to get these personnel out of Afghanistan as quickly and as safely as possible. That mission has not changed. The mission is of historical significance, and it is incumbent upon us to be resolute in the protection of American and Afghan lives. Thank you. Mr. Kirby.
Thanks, General. Okay, Bob.
So, John, I have a narrow question for the General and a broader question for you, if I could start with him, if you don't mind.
Oh, right? Sure, absolutely. I'll just leave. That's fine.
General, I think you said that you would ramp up to 1 aircraft departure per hour.
That's the planning figure.
And when would that, my question is, when will you get there?
We hope within the next 24 hours. And so as the commander on the ground continues to build the combat power there and flights are available, that is the goal.
Okay. If I may ask a question of you, John?
You've been listening to the Pentagon briefing now on trying to get Americans out of Afghanistan and also Afghan civilians who may have helped the American mission there. I believe that we still have Jessica Stone with us. Jessica, when we began this news conference, I had to interrupt you, but they were speaking to something that I asked you about, which is the confidence in the people who are stuck inside Afghanistan in Kabul, of trying to get from where they are to the airport. Are the people that you are talking to confident that they will be able to get to the airport safely?
Not at all. What I was beginning to share with you is that we had an exchange about checking whether or not it would be safe going to a point above the airport and checking out, how many Taliban checkpoints were en route, some sort of surveillance in order to assess whether it was safe to hire a vehicle to get there. And my friend assessed this morning that it was not and has not left where he is currently hiding out with his wife and 3 small children. He has a 4-year-old little girl, a 9-year-old little boy, and a 13-year-old little boy. As recently as Sunday, we were doing a video call, and his 4-year-old little girl and my 3-year-old little girl were showing each other their school shoes as these scenes unfolded. I mean, absolutely surreal and heartbreaking. His wife and I were crying together. I can't stress enough how kind many of these people have been to us. I think most American people see this as a war zone, see this as a backwards country that can't help itself. But on an individual level, these individuals, many of them are smart, they are caring, they are loyal to family, and they are certainly all God's creation. And we have promised those that helped us that we would help them out. And that is the promise that effectively was broken. And now we have 6,000 troops in place of 2,500 troops trying to do the job we should have done initially.
Jessica, would you address the failure on so many different levels? The one on the Biden administration is very clear. When you see an aircraft trying to take off with people clinging to it, something did not go right. But with regards to the other images that we are seeing, somebody pointed something out interesting to me, which was that the people on the tarmac there waiting to catch those flights out were men. There also seems to have been a failure on the part of the Afghan men to protect its women. Is that an accurate description?
I don't have the sense that that's the case with my friend, but it is certainly the case that in many cases the English speakers are men, and certainly men have a much more prominent role in society. I mean, for example, I met my friend's wife for the first time on the video call, and I've known him for 12 years. So there is a sense in which by being on that by being in that tarmac, those individuals were certainly more savvy and more capable. And in many cases, I certainly would not defend that, but I can't quite explain why there weren't more women there. And I think it probably has something to do with cultural norms that obviously we spent 20 years trying to empower the women of Afghanistan to have a better quality of life. And it's still a fight that they have to have within their own culture, even as it has been westernized. But yeah, that is very stark and jarring and hurtful, really, because my time there was largely with men because I was treated as a man. Effectively, Western women are essentially treated as men in that culture.
I want to remind our audience that our Chief Foreign Affairs Correspondent, Nayera Huck, is inside that Pentagon news briefing, and as soon as that wraps up, we will have her join this conversation. But I want to play something for you that was said yesterday. The UN now calling on the Taliban to protect the civilian population under its control. Take a listen.
We call on the international community to extend all possible support to those who may be at imminent risk, and we call on the Taliban to demonstrate through their actions, not just their words, that the fears for the safety of so many people in so many different walks of life are addressed.
So the Taliban this morning saying that they welcome women back into the government. Based on your experience on the ground in Afghanistan, how much do you trust? I can see your head nodding already.
I mean, yeah, no, I mean, the gall of even trying to say that is ridiculous. We already know that they're going house to house in Kabul, looking for women, that they've already enslaved young girls and women as their sex slaves. They've already started organizing forced marriages. The political wing of the Taliban may think that is more palatable to calm people's nerves, but I don't think there's any truth and or veracity. I just find it unbelievable.
Jessica, you are not a Washington neophyte. You know Washington, you know America. What happens 2 weeks from now after these images have faded? I mean, we have refugees on their way to Texas and Florida and other places across the country. Do you think they will be welcome? And do you think in this case, as I mentioned at the top of our broadcast, that we've been given a Hobson's choice? which is no choice at all. We don't like what we see, but we also realize that nothing is going to be done.
Well, there's two questions there. How will the Afghans be treated? This is a burning question because there is a divide in our country, and we've seen epic xenophobia in our country over the last 4 or 5 years. It's just reared its ugly head, and it's perhaps always been here, but we've seen it much more blatantly. I think it's also the case that I really believe the religious communities of this country need to take the lead, as they traditionally have with refugee resettlement, because the faith of the Christian community in particular is what motivates the Lutherans and the Southern Baptists and the Catholics and the Jews to be active in this space, and they are. Those are the organizations that have taken the lead. What I think is even more important is that the religious communities and the religious leaders of this country stress that our values about human rights in this country and in the West are rooted in our belief in a monotheistic God that largely gives people the human rights that they have, that we have a concept of human rights that is based in a Judeo-Christian monotheistic God's view of the importance of each individual life. And that is what unites us in the West. And that is what we need to stress to our congregations this Sunday, and make sure that we have welcoming arms for these people. They are not the same. They do not communicate the same as Americans. They do not take care of themselves the same. They do not have the same cultural values. But you know what? They're important to God, and they should be important to us. We need to make sure we remember that, just as we have needed to remember that for the migrants that are coming across the southern border.